I am the greatest.
I wish I was 50 years younger and I'd kick your ass.
You won't do shit. Just stick and move. And waking you up and saying, now stick and move. Keep your hands up.
Welcome to a new episode of the Stick and Move podcast. I'm your host, Trey, here with my homeboy, Sam. And today we are talking about the legendary fight of Bowe versus Evander Holyfield 1. And before we get into that, I just want to say one thing to our subscribers, that we appreciate everything you guys have done for us. We are at a little bit over 500 followers, and we want to raise that. We hit our first goal. We want to get to our second goal of 1,000. So for those of you guys that are helping us promote the podcast with us, we appreciate everything. And we're just going to keep on bringing that content every Monday and Wednesday, guys. So we appreciate the love and, of course, the support and comments and everything. So let's go into this fight. Sam and I both scored this fight. Before we talk about it, before we show our cards, you remember this era, dude. I know you do because I remember this era.
Yeah,
the mid to early 90s of boxing. It was kind of the second golden era of all time.
When the heavyweight division was the division on fire.
Exactly. And this is what we've been waiting for. And you can honestly say the heavyweight division has not been back ever since. I know we're kind of having a renaissance the past couple of years, but to be honest with you, I'm not really buying into it. Do you buy into this era being the third, I guess, renaissance of the heavyweight division?
Look,
with Fury and everybody.
Yes, with Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, Luis Ortiz, Andy Ruiz, Anthony Joshua, and Usyk. Dude, I mean, I don't think they could have competed with the Klitschko's and the Lennox Lewis's, bro.
I feel you, bro.
I just, the Shannon Briggs, bro. I just don't see
it. Tua,
Yeah, David Tua, and no, that's why I said that era, the Bowe, Holyfield, bro. That's when the heavyweight division was the division to watch. That's what brought the world together to see events of two, men amongst men, bro. These
100%.
guys, these guys were gods in the ring, and when I saw this fight, oh my God, I couldn't believe what great heavyweight fights we got to see back in the day.
There were so many good ones. Of course, there was Tyson. The reemergence of George Foreman, Tommy Morrison, bro. Who else was there? Mercer, Mercer had a little blip. Yeah, man. Oliver McCall, of course, Lennox Lewis, such a fantastic time. And you know what I loved about it too? They were all fighting each other. They all wanted a piece of each other. Nobody avoided each other. I know a lot of people avoided Lennox Lewis, because Lennox Lewis was this monster nobody really wanted to fight, and there was a little pushback because he was a European fighter, and people were deciding if that was a market they wanted to go into. But dude, back to this fight, bro, I remember the anticipation. Both undefeated fighters. If I'm not mistaken, Bowe was 31-0, and Holyfield was 28-0. If I'm not mistaken, right? Two undefeated. When was the last time we saw two seasoned heavyweight undefeated boxers go at it in the middle of the ring, and then to have an outstanding trilogy, which we talked about on our previous episode. So let's just get onto it. I'm going to go ahead and post up our scores. Hey guys, Trey here. If you love today's controversial episode and you want to see our channel grow, please drop a like, subscribe, and also comment. Sam and I are always going back and forth with those commenters on our controversial topics and opinions, and we love it so much. So go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe, most importantly, so our channel can grow and we can give you guys the best content as possible. Sam and I were always uploading multiple videos a week, and we want to continue doing that, and we need your help. So go ahead and subscribe, guys. And most importantly, like I always say, don't forget to stick and move, baby. And look, bro, you and I, see, I had a little bit of a closer fight. I had Riddick Bowe winning 114-113, and you had Riddick Bowe winning 116-114. Now, before we get into the reasons why, I just want to say something, bro. This fight, when it started, Riddick Bowe, that, to me, I know Holyfield physically looked like the perfect physical specimen. But Riddick Bowe, that was his peak physical condition, and Riddick Bowe, Holyfield won. I honestly don't think, this is a hot take, nobody could have beaten that Riddick Bowe. I think the closest that anybody could have ever gone to beating Riddick Bowe in that shape and that condition was exactly Evander Holyfield. That's the closest we were going to get. I honestly think that Riddick Bowe that we saw in that ring, in that top peak form. Now, let's not get it twisted. He didn't have a six-pack or anything like that. But from the fights we've seen him before and the fights afterwards, that he was ready. And I would not want to get into the ring with that Riddick Bowe. You got any thoughts on that?
Dude, first of all, man, when I saw that fight, man, I can't believe how big of a beast both guys were.
Oh,
both guys were. But when I saw the way he would throw those jabs, bro, I don't know how. I mean, yeah, I'm gonna hear comments about it.
Yeah,
but I don't know how Mike Tyson or even Lennox Lewis, would handle those type of jabs, bro. Riddick Bowe threw, sledgehammers as jabs, bro. You know what I'm saying? As jabs. And,
right.
The resilience of both fighters, that Holyfield taking that beating, bro, for me, dude, that's what I think what made Holyfield the warrior, the guy with the big heart. Because damn, dude, he took some shots, bro, that I don't think any other heavyweight would, to at least today, would not be able to take.
I'm looking at that first round and those body jabs that Riddick Bowe was landing on Holyfield, especially in that last 30 to 45 seconds of that first round. It was like he was punching him on one side of the rib, going straight all the way through. And here was Holyfield just taking it in.
Yeah.
And wow, like that version of Holyfield, you saw the guts and the hero that's within them, the warrior style that's in both of those fighters, how bad they wanted to win this fight. It's so rare that you see heavyweights bang like that, especially when it's one way bigger than the other. If I'm not mistaken, Riddick Bowe was what, 240-ish?
Yeah,
close to 250, while Holyfield was what, 210, 212, around there. That's a big dramatic difference. Let me ask you this before we continue with the rounds. This is a hot take, but do you think there should be a second heavyweight division for those big old monsters like Riddick Bowe, like Lennox Lewis, like those kind of big fighters?
I think there should be. Because look, think about it. Let's think about it. All right, let's think about it. What if you see something like Tyson Fury versus Andy Ruiz, bro? Come on, bro. There has to be. You've said it before. You've told me off the air. You have told me, man, there has to be like a super heavyweight division.
Right.
Because some of these, some guys are just completely overmatching some of their opponents.
It's not even fair.
It's not even fair.
we're gonna get Fury versus Usyk. That's the same kind of fight, except Fury's a 6'9" giant, weighs about 270 versus Usyk. That's what, 210, 220 at best. I might be over exaggerating his weight, dude. I don't know, man. Heavyweight is the only division where literally, if you hit that threshold of 200, you could be fighting a 275-pound guy and you're 201.
Yeah.
I mean, there's guy. I know they had the Bridger division. I don't know if that ever ever happened, but I'm with you, bro. I think there should be a super heavyweight division. Guys in the comments, tell us what you guys think. Should there be a second tier of heavyweight division? Because honestly, the fact that Holyfield went the distance with this guy, considering Holyfield went down, and then has a trilogy with Holyfield, was always usually the smaller guy in these five. Remember, he was a cruiserweight.
Yeah.
And to go all the way up to go fight heavyweight, he was usually the smaller guy. And the fact that he had an undefeated record, was a champion multiple times, went the distance with Riddick Bowe almost all 3 times. Lennox Lewis, the same thing, controversial. Just goes to show you the level of boxer that Evander Holyfield was, and perhaps needs a little bit more respect. Go ahead.
Yeah, no. What Holyfield did versus that giant of Riddick Bowe, I mean, bro, that type of 12-round fight can end people's careers,
dude.
Honestly, bro.
Yeah.
I was just like, I don't know how Holyfield is withstanding all these punches to the body, to the face, everywhere, bro. And I mean, the endurance, bro. The endurance.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, dude, he's the warrior, bro. He is.
That's what it is, bro.
Yeah.
Because he was usually the unders. I mean, don't get me wrong, dude. He's a big, strong, ripped up man, no doubt about it. But compared to the giants that he was fighting, it just puts his lure in another level. And what I also respect, going back to the rounds, is that in that first round, when Riddick Bowe was hammering him, especially with those body shots, he kind of kept his discipline. He did what he always does. And this is kind of like a contradiction, because I know you and I are hyping Holyfield right now. But, dude, he goes back to his dirty fighting within that first round. He starts headbutting within that first round. Holyfield was slick, man. Yes, he could take a beating, and he could dish it out too. But he knew when was it time to go low, hit low. Yeah. When was it time to headbutt? When was it time to hit on the back of the head? He knew wherever the referee was that he knew how to manipulate those cheap shots. And I think, in my opinion, early on in those rounds, especially starting with the first round, you saw Riddick Bowe kind of get frustrated already. Riddick Bowe understanding, oh, this is going to be a long night.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no, and what I also noticed is that Holyfield had to take a lot of punishment just to get in. Mm-hmm. Dude, he was taking the jabs, bro, like all night long. All night long. He couldn't brush it off. Bro. Holyfield was using his feet more than Riddick Bowe was. But in order for him to hit back, after getting hit and smacked by the jab, dude, he would have to take punishment just to dish out, just to give, punishment. Do you know what I'm saying?
You know what I loved about this fight? It was the heavyweight version of a featherweight fight. Mm-hmm. Especially back in the 90s, bro, where they fight in a phone booth and they're just headbanging and hitting in each other with the body the entire time. You don't see heavyweights do that often. It's usually 2 slow-footed guys just jabbing and peppering, uppercutting, massive hooks. And because there's so much power, you got to respect it. You want to have space in between. These guys are fighting in a phone booth, brother.
Yeah. Tyson Fury would have been clinching all night long. That's the difference. That's the difference.
Unbelievable. I'm looking at these rounds here. I circled round 3, headbutting by Holyfield again. A low blow by Riddick Bowe in the 4th. That's when he got frustrated.
Oh yeah,
And he hit some clean in below the belt. And you know what's so funny? Holyfield just kept on going.
Yeah.
What did you think about with the low blows and the headbutting and hitting behind the head? What did you think about that throughout this fight?
Oh man, now you're gonna bring out. Now you're
Talk to me, brother. Talk to me.
Yeah,
Talk to me.
that was the knockdown for me. I understand how this happened, but at the moment I got really excited. I was really pissed. Was when Riddick Bowe knocked down Holyfield.
Yeah,
that shot was behind the ear. You know, and but Holyfield was turning and trying to like duck it, and Riddick Bowe hit him behind the ear, went down. Yeah, there was frustration built. You know what I'm saying? Both guys were trying to hurt each other. They didn't want to go the whole distance. You know, so they're like, man, this fight has to end in 10 rounds or 8. You know, but you know, Holyfield has a style where when he goes in with his head. Right. Just like the way Bernard Hopkins would do with Trinidad, you know, where they would go in, even Bradley with Pacquiao. And I think that's what frustrated Bowe. You know what I'm saying? That was, you know, he would just come in with his head, and they would clash. And it was a frustration move, but, you know, he got the knockdown. You know, Riddick Bowe got the knockdown, and I mean, there was no stopping Holyfield, though. He kept the same style. He kept the same aggression. And he just went at it all 12 rounds.
I'll say this. I noticed you had Bowe winning 4-1. When I watched this fight, I had no volume on. Okay. I had technical. I was watching on my laptop, and you know, it's been a couple of years since I last watched it. And I have it even through 4 because what I saw was what you just said. The Holyfield just kept coming. He was more relentless, in my opinion. Yes, Bowe was hitting him with the big blows and the massive uppercuts, especially that one in the 4th round that would have sent any other boxer to the canvas. What I saw from Holyfield was he just kept on getting those Olympic style points where he was just connecting continuously. And I want to say one more thing about Riddick Bowe. For such a giant of a boxer, he is so light on his feet, bro.
Yeah.
Especially at that time. Like, it's weird because he's kind of flat-footed, but man, he can move in there. He knows how to use that ring. I can honestly say, along with Floyd Mayweather, Sugar Ray Leonard, Muhammad Ali, CANELO, those guys, they are so good when their backs are against the ropes. They enjoy, those kind of boxers enjoy being against the ropes because they know how to defend and how to get out and how to use their offense to get out of the ropes. Especially, dude, Riddick Bowe, dude, is right there with them. What he was doing against the ropes as Holyfield was trying his best to connect with huge haymakers. Dude, Bowe was just taking it and making Holyfield miss, and he was able with ease to swiftly pivot out of the ropes. It was a thing of beauty, man. Something that people don't really talk about with Riddick Bowe, and I think that's an underrated skill to have in the boxing ring. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think that night, that Riddick Bowe would have beaten all heavyweights, bro. Honestly. Yeah. I think the only person that would probably give Riddick Bowe problems would have been Muhammad Ali and a prime, maybe a prime Joe Frazier. But other than that, I think he would have handled Mike Tyson. In my opinion, he would have handled any heavyweight in today's boxing. And I would have loved to see that Riddick Bowe versus maybe the Klitschko's. That would have been awesome.
Man, I'm looking at our cards here, and your 5 and 6 through 8, 5 through 8, you have it 2, 3, 2. Well, you actually had an even round in that famous 6th round, and that 8th round, you gave it to Holyfield. What were you seeing in those middle rounds there?
In the middle rounds is when I saw that Holyfield was just letting it go.
Mm-hmm.
He was letting it go, and he was hoping that Riddick Bowe was gonna gas out.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And he threw it. He just gave it all, man. And there was a round, that famous round. I just think that they both shared, big moments in that round. I think it was round 6. And round 6.
Yeah, round 6, they were just banging away, bro.
Yeah,
like,
and
no defense, they were just crushing each other.
Yeah, they both had their highlights in that round. I couldn't just give it to Riddick Bowe, and I just couldn't give it to Holyfield. So I gave it an even round. But I think that there was a moment in those rounds where Holyfield was out to take advantage, to redeem himself, to win some rounds, because he knew he had fallen in that 4th round.
Well, here's the other thing. The best round that I had for Holyfield in that whole fight was that 8th round.
Yeah.
I mean, there was multiple headbutts in that round, but Holyfield kept on coming. He started off strong. Riddick Bowe it kind of felt like Riddick Bowe was taking the round off a little bit.
Yeah.
I think he was tired. I mean, you saw after the first round, Riddick Bowe was already breathing hard. He was already dripping insane amount of sweat. And after seeing that first round, brother, going all the way to the 8th round, I feel like he took the round off, and Holyfield totally took advantage. But then he even goes more to the credit of Riddick Bowe, because, dude, Holyfield just teed off on him.
Yeah.
And Bowe was just taking. I mean, I don't care who you are. If you're going to be taking shots to the gut and then getting headbutted back and forth as well, with insane good uppercuts and jabs by Holyfield, and you're not even wobbling?
Yeah,
Dude,
bro.
I'm with you, bro. I'm with you. I think Riddick Bowe, that perfect condition Riddick Bowe could have taken anybody out. Hot take. I think he could have beaten Muhammad Ali that night only. You just saw the determination and will that Riddick Bowe was not going to go down. You have any thoughts?
Yeah, no, I'm with you, bro. I'm with you on that. I think that man, I hadn't seen that fight in ages, of course. And when I rewatched it, dude, those punches were lethal, bro. I don't know any heavyweight. That would have put Riddick Bowe down. I don't know any heavyweight that would be given that much output in 12 rounds. I don't know any heavyweight, bro, that would have knocked him out or hurt him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think that Riddick Bowe had the best recipe to handle and even Mike Tyson.
Oh, for sure.
In my opinion. With distance and then the uppercut, I think he would have destroyed Mike Tyson, honestly.
I'm looking at our scorecards. Let's just finish up the scorecard here. Holyfield finally goes down, and dude, that's what costed the fight. That fight could have been a draw, in my opinion, if he did not go down that 11th round. What you saw in that round before it, they were both done. I think in the round 10, they were both exhausted. It should have been a 10-round fight. If it would have been a 10-round fight, it could have looked a lot different. Yeah. But I think going to that 11th round, like I said, I kind of feel that Bowe rested that 8th and 9th round for the 8th and 9th round to go into that 10th and 11th round and just lay out Holyfield for what he did.
He finished it.
Yeah, he definitely finished it. But here's the funny thing. That last round, I had Holyfield winning. You had Holyfield winning as well. I mean, that just goes to show you, bro, that, I went down. Holyfield probably knew I lost the draw or maybe the win at that time, and he went out like the warrior spirit he is.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Now, I'll be remiss to not talk about. Let's talk about that famous. I know you watched it with your son. What was your son saying about?
He was just saying that it was a battle of two. It was a battle of two gods, bro. It was a battle of two gods, and two. You know, he was like, man, these guys are they're gods fighting in a ring, and and the way Riddick Bowe came out, using his jab and just being fierce, but the resilience, bro, of Holyfield, man, closing it out. I mean, the guy was just bouncing on his feet, man, and just giving it all. No other man in this world, bro, had half the heart he did. You know what I'm saying? And it's like they said, this loss of Holyfield is his biggest, the best fight he's ever had. You know what I'm saying? The best fight he's ever had.
To me, is probably one of the most underrated rounds, not only in boxing history, but combat history. Both of those fighters knew that they were at a moment where this is going to be the round where it makes our legacy. Okay. For me, when I saw those guys just laying it all out, and Jim Lampley calling Evander Holyfield, I can't remember the words, but
should be taking that kind of advice. Look at Holyfield. What a warrior. Reversing the tide of the battle. The champion now has Bowe wobbly. And he lands the right hand. Everybody in the Thomas and Mack Center on their feet.
The warrior that he is, where he earned his nickname. Bro, you just felt that both fighters were willing to die in that round, much less the fight. And everything was going to be laid out. And no matter what, Holyfield looked at Riddick Bowe. I don't care if you're bigger and you're stronger than me. I have the bigger heart, and I'm going to come at you from the first round all the way to the last. It was no exception. That 9th round is up there, in my opinion, to the 13th round of Thrilla in Manila. It is up there with the first round of Thomas Hearns and Marvin Hagler, because you saw two undefeated champions that were willing to leave it all on the line. You know?
I think that the quote was, I think Holyfield was 214 pounds. I don't know what it was. I don't know the right number, but he goes, 213 pounds is his heart.
Ooh.
It doesn't bother Bowe because he knows he was only resting at that point. Evander Holyfield has got a heart.
If he weighs 205, his heart weighs about 204.
This is an amazing show, guys.
Yeah, exactly.
He had said something like that. You know, it was just, I mean, dude, Holyfield just, he became a legend, bro, that night. He was, that's it. This guy is a legend status, bro. And that's why he'll always be one of the top heavyweights of all time, bro.
If both of those guys' gloves were white, those gloves would have been red by the end of the fight, bro.
Yeah.
You know, I love the fact that the gloves had that old school duct tape, silver duct tape wrap around. It looked like a backyard brawl that was going to go on, where two neighbors that were having feuds with each other, they're like, you know what, man, let's do it right now.
Yeah.
Let's just put on the gloves. It didn't have to be pretty. Let's just put tape around it. Doesn't matter what kind of tape, and let's fight to the death. That's the way it felt like. So before we sign off, I want to talk to you about the legacy. We know the legacy of Evander Holyfield. We did a whole entire episode of him going against the monsters of the 70s. What is Riddick Bowe's legacy, in your opinion?
I think,
not to put you on the spot.
Yeah. I think that it was this defining moments that he had with Holyfield, bro. I mean, the guy was just, he made a name for himself. He won, bro. he beat Holyfield. He became champion, and he was coached well. His weight was under control for that night, and he stole. Dude, he became a legend. Both of them became legends, bro. But this is the fight that made Riddick Bowe, in my opinion.
Do you think that this fight, and for everybody in the comment, I want you to answer this question for me. Do you think that this fight carried enough leverage for Riddick Bowe, being a legend that he is, did it outweigh the fact, and I know there's more circumstances to it, of him never fighting Mike Tyson or fighting Lennox Lewis? What weighed more to you, in your opinion? I know there's politics were involved. I understand that. You know, I mean, it's all not on Bowe, of course, but I mean, there's something missing on his resume.
People are gonna hate on me for saying this, but the Hall of Famer status, in my opinion, he needed a Lennox Lewis or Mike Tyson. In my opinion,
right?
He needed one of those fights to put him as a Hall of Famer, bro. Honestly,
right.
That's just my opinion.
So you're saying that even though this is a Hall of Fame fight that he had with Evander Holyfield, those 3 mega bouts that he had with Holyfield, that he still needed something else. Is that why he's often forgotten about in the pantheon of greats?
I think so, because I think that I know it's gonna anger people, but that's why I think Holyfield needed Mike Tyson, because that cemented Holyfield. And so why not, I give the same, for Riddick Bowe. I think Riddick Bowe needed Lennox Lewis, Mike Tyson to end his career. You know what I'm saying? He should have had his weight under control. Yeah. The guy would have been a legend. You know
I agree.
Just my opinion.
Yeah, and you know what's so funny, man? The 90s was such a golden era for boxing. Considering we never got Riddick Bowe and Lennox Lewis, or Riddick Bowe and Mike Tyson, considering that, the 90s, this is controversial too, didn't really need it. We had other great fights going on. Not so much in the heavyweight division, but Roy Jones Jr. was killing it. Chavez and De La Hoya were killing it. There was Trinidad. I mean, the 90s overall, yes, there was a golden age in the heavyweight, but bro, the welterweights and the super lightweights division and the super featherweights, those are also doing phenomenal as well.
Yeah.
The 90s was a great time it was just a renaissance for boxing in total.
Yeah.
Just in my opinion. So do you have any final thoughts about this fight?
No, it was a great fight. It was an epic fight. It's, after rewatching it, I have to put it up there as one of my top 5 greatest heavyweight fights that I've ever seen in my life.
Okay, absolutely, bro. So we'll go ahead and leave it at that. I agree with you. One of the all-time greats. Do you have any thoughts for our audience out there?
Yeah, I just want to, thank everybody, for subscribing, commenting, liking our videos, watching our videos. We appreciate it, man. There's a goal that we want to hit by the end of this year. And, we're going to keep working. And if there's anything y'all want us to talk about, let us know. And we'll do our best to reply to everybody. And I just appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, guys, just exactly what Sam said. Just go ahead and keep sharing our channel. I want to shout out Native Wildman. He's been going out of his way to, to send our episodes to other people, and we appreciate that love and attention. So, Native Wildman, we shout you out, and we thank you guys very much. And like I always like to say, don't forget to stick and move, baby.
I am the greatest.
I wish I was 50 years younger and I